Rick, what happened for you guys defensively at the start of the second half? They hit 8 of their first 12 shots, and they were, all pretty much in the paint or at the rim.
Well, I think we got a little tentative because of foul trouble. That's what happens. The fact that we withstood all that foul trouble and still were in the game, it was a positive sign. But offensively, we just did not share the basketball enough, and that was our demise.
What do we got? Right here. Go ahead, Roger.
Roger Rubin from Newsday. Rick, you had RJ on the bench, for a pretty long stretch at the end. Was that just because he just wasn't making them, or was there something more to it?
Played 30 minutes. It's a long time.
So he was tired?
No, played 30 minutes, and I went with other people. You already know the answers, Roger. You're asking leading questions. You already know it. So don't ask leading questions. You already know why he didn't play. Okay.
Right here in the middle.
Rick, Ben Dixon from Newsday. You kind of alluded to it before the game, but now that you saw Arkansas up close and personal, how did their sort of athleticism and physicality match up with the teams you guys played previously?
We haven't faced that type of length and athleticism this year, but that's what the SEC is all about. But that's not the reason we lost the game. We lost the game because we did not move the basketball enough, and that led to us shooting a very low percentage. We're a team that we have to get a high number of assists to win, and we didn't tonight.
Go ahead, Bill. To the right, Coach.
Rick, Vernon Quinn from The Athletic. Considering all the first half foul trouble, how'd you to only be down 3 at halftime? Did you kind of feel like you got away with
We actually should have had the lead if we make free throws. We should have had the lead. But we battled. We just didn't get the job done offensively. It was one of our poorest performances offensively. Give credit to their defense, but also we shot ourselves in the foot with a lack of passing.
Right here in the middle.
Kevin Connolly starting the paint. Rick, when you're starting to make shots in the second half and you're on the run to get within 2, are you kind of thinking like, here we go again, this is what we've done all season, and you had them almost where you wanted them?
I was just thinking of possession by possession. We had a shot, but we missed some free throws again and didn't make some defensive plays. But again, it goes back to we just didn't do the little things to win that game. And you got to give them the credit. They were the better basketball team by far.
Front left here, Coach.
Zach Brazilian, New York Post. With RJ, Rick, he said he felt like he wasn't a good leader today. What did you think of in terms of that?
I'm just very appreciative for Aaron Scott. He had a bad game, but he gave me his heart and soul with a broken finger. I'm very appreciative of Kadari Richmond. He was a true pleasure to coach. He had a bad game tonight defensively, and it took him out of the game. But he was pure joy to coach. I'm very, very appreciative of Davon Smith, who's been hurt and gave me everything he had. So I'm very appreciative. I'm very thankful to the guys that gave me every single thing they had. I hate to see them go out this way. We thought we were championship driven in our minds, but I've been disappointed before with this. You hate to see us play like that. I don't mind going out with a loss. I just hate to see us play that way offensively. And we got to live with it. You put a lot of time and effort. The coaches did. And it's just a bitter pill to swallow with that type of performance. But we'll give the credit to Arkansas, and I'll be very, very thankful to those 3 guys for giving me everything they had. And we move on.
Was there one play with RJ that made you sit him in the last 5 minutes?
You know he was 3 for 17. You know he was 0 for 3. So you're answering your own. I'm not going to knock one of my players.
Take time for 2 last quick ones here. Go ahead, Roger.
Rick, I know that obviously the loss is very fresh, but this was pretty sensational season for St. John's and its fans. Can you sort of speak to the big picture of like what you think this was and what you think it does for the program going forward?
Well, I hope it does a lot. I hope it's, I've had a lot of tough losses and had a lot of great victories in the NCAA. And it always ends with you hating this moment. It always ends that way. It never ends. The only time I think we lost to Kentucky in the Final Four, and it didn't end bitter because we gave everything we had. Tonight we didn't play a great brand of offensive basketball, and that's disappointing. But overall, I'm very thankful for those three guys that gave me everything they had. They were the reason of the turnaround that St. John's had, winning a regular season and winning a tournament. So I'm just very, very thankful to them.
One last one here to the right, Coach.
Coach Nikki Latterillo, SNY, just what has this season meant to you, and what do you want people to remember about this group?
You know, I think that the turnaround happened the first year. I think the guys, I think with Ruben and Vince and Lefty and Sim and some of the guys that were on the bench and witnessed what the run is all about, and then what you have to do to make the next jump. They witnessed it. It's going to only help them. They're getting better. I was sorry that Lefty had to be thrown into that tonight because that's a very difficult team for him to play against as a freshman. So I think that there was a lot of great moments this year. You wish that you could go out playing better offensively, but that's the breaks of the game. Give them credit, move on, and see what happens in the future.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Congrats on a great season.
Thank you.
One of the best seasons in St. John's program history, no doubt about it. But I will say the quiet part out loud. Why didn't R.J. Lewis play in the final minute? Because he was struggling. That's what was going on. He was struggling, couldn't buy a bucket. 3 of 17, 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. His worst field goal percentage of the season. The Big East player did not get a chance to have a last word there. Instead, it is Arkansas who has the last word, knocking St. John's out of the tournament. And you consider their first 4 losses this season were by a combined 7 points. They lose their 5th and final game of the season by 9.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you.
Big news coming out of the NFL. A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
With highlights.
What a finish at the final round of play.
And in-depth analysis.
Can they three-peat? Tony Romo joins the conversation.
What can you say about this game?
When you need your sports in a snap,
we're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
Find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.